This is a quick overview of the live view screen of the Alibi Vigilant recorders. We're going to start at the bottom of the screen here. You have a menu button. If you select this menu button, you have three options. This will take you directly to the main menu of the recorder. Playback will take you directly to playback. Shutdown will give you three options here: log out, restart, and shut down. So any one of those are available there. Next to that, you have the multi-window button or the screen selection button. If you click on this, you can actually choose what kind of layout you would like here. So obviously you have single window, then you can choose the exact camera, and that will bring that camera full screen. You can choose the 2x2, which is 4 windows, and you can choose the 3x3, which is 9 windows, and the max for this unit because it is an 8-channel unit. Next to that button, you have your previous screen and next screen options. If I did have this in a 4 grid here, and I had 2 pages, if I had 8 cameras here, I actually use this button here to switch to the next screen where the cameras are available. The cameras 5 through 8 are available. Next to that, you have your stop and start sequence. This is if you wanted a rotating image. If you want cameras to sequence through a numerical sequence from camera 1 to 2 to 3, you can stop and start that sequence here. And this is another shortcut here to playback. If I click that, it goes directly to playback. Towards the right hand side, you have a camera info button. If you select this, it'll give you the status of your cameras. You can even scroll over a little bit, and recording status is ongoing, mainstream, and I believe it does also give you the resolution here. Next to the camera status, you have the alarm status button. Clicking this will give you any information on current alarms or any kind of exceptions that are going on with the unit itself. We currently don't have anything going on. Next is the time. This is going to display the time. You put your mouse over it, it will give you the current date as well. If you select this option, it will take you directly to the time settings of the DVR. And at the very end here, you have a lock button. This is to lock the menu button, the menu at the bottom of the screen. So if I select this menu down here will never disappear, right? So if you kind of are in a full screen situation, you don't want to see this menu, make sure it's left unlocked. So when you click off of that device, the menu will disappear. Coming up towards the cameras, we do have some options as well inside the cameras. So I'm just going to double click this one to make it go full screen. Down here on the bottom, we do have a window toolbar, which gives us some options here. This camera does not have PTZ capability, but this first option here is to bring up the PTZ remote for this camera. The next option is a start local recording option, and that is kind of like a override, like a manual record. Here we have instant playback, which will take us to an instant playback screen. I believe it goes back 5 minutes. You can kind of sift through the last 5 minutes of footage. Here is a digital zoom. So if we select the digital zoom option, there's 2 ways we can zoom. We can either click and drag and let go, and that will zoom in on that location. And right click to go back, or we can use the mouse scroll wheel to zoom in on a location and zoom out. Wherever I put my mouse, that's where the center of the zoom will be. Right click to get out of that zoom mode. Here we have image control, and this will give you some quick settings here to adjust the brightness, contrast, etc. of your camera. Click OK there. Here we have the quick shortcut to OSD. If I wanted to rename this camera here, I can, rename it Patio. Alright. And we'll click the show name option here. And so now it does say Patio on the camera. This is enable to two-way audio. If this camera did have a microphone or two-way audio capabilities, we would be able to do that there. This is to turn on audio. If the camera was enabled with a microphone, we'd be able to listen to the audio there. And this is, if you hover over this one here, this just kind of gives you a current status of the camera frame, the frame rate, kind of like the data information, the bandwidth, and then the resolution as well. On the live view image itself, as we're in full screen here, if you notice in the top right hand corner, there is a little record icon up here. So that is the indicator that this camera is recording to the hard drive. There's some other options you may see up here as well. If you're recording motion, or if there was motion in this image at the moment, you would see kind of an icon of two people standing next to each other, and that indicates that there is a motion detection in that image. You also will see the two-way audio icon if you enable the two-way audio on a camera, and also a tampering alarm, which is a yellow triangle that lets you know that there was some kind of tampering involved with this camera. Moving on, we're going to take a look at the shortcut menu. So if we right click on the screen, this brings up what we call the shortcut menu. Obviously the menu button will take you directly to the main menu of the DVR. The common menu is a quick kind of option here to camera configuration, network configuration, and backup. Here's kind of the same options we had across the bottom. In single window, we can choose the camera that we would like to display in a single window, multi-window as well. Quarter mode is if you do have cameras, the camera must be installed correctly, located like a 90-degree clockwise if you do have quarter cameras. And if you put this in a 3 window, it will kind of give you those 3 images across the way together. So we'll go back to the single mode here. Playback is going to be direct, take you directly to playback as well. Output mode is going to give you some options to adjust, kind of like TV sets have these days, where you can have a standard, a soft, and you can see the image is changing. And that's just the output image onto my monitor. So I'm just going to leave it on standard here. And then manual is where you can actually do a manual recording option here. Right now, so this is not in manual mode, so this unit is recording according to the schedule. So this concludes the live view and icon descriptions of the Alibi Vigilant series recorders.